Scorpio family, hello and welcome to your October 2024 tarot forecast. I'm Ms. Eden and Scorpio fam, I'm so happy you're here. Welcome. This is going to be a general reading for Scorpio's sun, moon, and rising signs. If y'all aren't sure of your moon or rising sign, a quick Google search or an internet search for a birth chart calculator. There's also plenty of astrology apps where you can get a free birth chart to check that information out, y'all. Okay. To all the longtime subscribers, welcome back. I am so glad you're here, and thank you all for all of your likes and your comments. I've really loved hearing from the family, so keep it coming, y'all. I really do appreciate it and love the feedback. To all the new subscribers, welcome. I do know that we have quite a few new subscribers joining the family and community here, so I'm so glad that you're here as well. Welcome, new Scorpio family, and I do hope that there is something in this message for the community, the Scorpio community. Don't sweat it, y'all, if you don't catch this message right after I post. All right, know that there is a time and a place for you to receive this message, and whenever you feel that little tingle to click and watch, right, like you have a few minutes of your day to listen or to watch, that is the time for you to receive this message, and hopefully there will be something in this message for you, Scorpio family. If you like what you see here, I do have an Instagram account. That's really the only other social media that I mess with, that I can handle, right? A YouTube and an Instagram. But if you do like what you see over here, y'all, and you want to keep growing the fam and supporting me, checking out what I do, there's plenty of stuff on my Instagram that does not always make it over to my YouTube. So definitely check me out over there. The link for that is in my bio, y'all. Scorpio, we have a lot of fast energy that I've been talking about in previous monthly forecast, and we're in the thick of it now. Whereas maybe in the past I was like, we're getting into it, or we'll be on the lookout for in the future, that's coming up. Like now we're in it, right? So how is that energy resonating with you as this energy has been picking up for the collective? I'm really curious to hear from y'all, and definitely let me know how I'm doing, if these messages resonate and hit for you. Because yeah, the feedback really helps, so I know I'm not just like shooting in the dark, y'all. Let's talk the astrology of October, since we are talking about big shifts in energy. Coming into the month, Scorpio fam, on the 2nd of October, we have a new moon solar eclipse in Libra. This is very much going to highlight the north and south node, which is not something that I've talked about much in astrology. I won't go too deep into it here, but really just if you're curious and you got your birth chart, the north node is what's always listed. They don't list the south, but the north and south nodes are always the opposite sign. So whatever the north node sign is at present, which right now it's in the sign of Aries, the south node is in the sign opposite of Aries, which is Libra. So for my Libra fam, which I know you're not Libras, but this is going to be a big solar eclipse energy. Again, wrapping up the eclipse portal for 2024 as well. This is our final eclipse of the year, y'all. And this is the final eclipse of this eclipse season, where we had our lunar eclipse back in September, right? So this is all about finding balance in our relationships, finding balance with our relationships with others. This doesn't always only mean like partnerships, romantic partnerships. This can mean relationships with family, with friends, with coworkers, with jobs and institutions itself, our relationships with Mother Earth, our relationship with self. All of that is coming up for review. And during this eclipse season, whatever is coming up, because it is, just gonna let the siren pass. Maybe that's a sign, right? Whenever eclipse season, woo, right? Yeah. So eclipse season, whenever that happens, whenever we're in the midst of the two eclipses, the lunar and the solar eclipse, there's a lot of, that's the pivot point, the changing point for a lot of us, right? Where maybe we've been planning and and working on strategies to launch something new. Like eclipse periods might be where we actually see these things launch, these projects, these ideas, right? Big changes and shifts. So again, keep in mind that with it being in Libra, a lot of the emphasis will be on our relationships and how do we keep a good balance with all of that in our lives. Then on the 9th of October, Jupiter will go into retrograde in the sign of Gemini. There's going to be a couple of days around the 9th to the 11th where we have all the outer planets in retrograde. This is a big paradigm shift. As I've said, this is why the energy is picking up. We have a lot of changing signs of planets as well in a very short period of time. So between the 9th and the 11th of October, the 9th, Jupiter goes retrograde, and then we have for a couple of days, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, Pluto, right? All retrograde. Now on the 11th, Pluto, which has been retrograding for a minute, stations direct. So yeah, these, again, the time all around the 9th to the 11th is going to be very much a transitionary time, because even as Jupiter is stationing retrograde on the 9th, Pluto will be kind of on its way to stationing direct. So yes, it'll technically still be retrograde, but it'll really be going in that direct motion, right? But Pluto will be going direct, and not only that, but changing signs. It has been in this dance, right? If you caught my other videos, into Aquarius from Capricorn. This is all about a shift in power dynamics. That's what I mean about these big collective shifts that we're going through. This is about top-down power, governmental power and control and stability, all changing and shifting as we shift from that harsher Capricorn energy into more free air sign, humanitarian-based, community-oriented Aquarian energy. It's going to be a big period. So mark your calendars for that period around the 9th to the 11th of October. I bet there'll be some big stuff happening on the world stage around those dates. All right, y'all, let's see. Then on the 17th of October, we have a full moon in Aries. All right, so thinking about all that fire and creativity, bringing it back to self, right? After a lot of focus on our relationships to other things, to other people. We're going to bring it back with a full moon, culminations, wrap-ups in Aries, right? A fire sign, the sign of fiery, like, I don't want to say aggression, but it is a war god type energy. So there is a certain aggressiveness to it, but it's very fast moving, fast paced, creative, fiery, right? And then on the 22nd of the month, we have Scorpio season beginning. It begins your birthday season. So yeah, it's going to be a big month, October, and a lot of the energy is going to be picking up for us. Individually, we'll see it in our individual lives, and then we'll see it in larger instances on the mass scale as well. And one can only predict, like, I don't, how that's going to play out. But I would suspect that a lot of things dealing with power structures is going to be shifting and changing. And we might also see some pop-ups and more occurrences of large storms, natural disasters, things like that, right? Especially earth-related activity, volcanic, earthquake-related, because we have Uranus and Taurus right now. So it's just a very chaotic, little bit volatile time, right? A lot of shifts, a lot of changes. It's important that we have the things that ground us accessible and ready for us, right? Scorpio family, so that we can find something to stabilize us while the world around us is like just going a little wild. So let's get into your reading, Scorpio family. Here you are coming into the month, the Lovers. All right, so the Lovers, all about the choices we make. This is the card of Gemini. All right, you have a choice this month of October. Again, things are shifting and changing for a lot of us. This does not always mean a romantic involved kind of energy, but it could be for some of my Scorpio family involving choices of the heart. But this usually comes down to a choice between two things, right? That, again, they're big. big choice, life-changing kind of choice you got before you, Scorpio. And the thing that you've got blocking you, this 8, making sure, 8 of Swords is yourself. The only thing blocking my Scorpio family is yourselves. Get out of your own head. So that's the energy. That's if you're feeling confused about which choice to make, because that's probably a big part of it, is it's a big choice. And it's gonna, there's gonna be a lot of consequences, both good and bad, depending on either side. So yeah, you're like 2 in your head about it. And you have the ability, Scorpio, remember, like, you hold the keys to your freedom. You haven't bound yourself completely. You're completely, your legs are free. You can walk forward. You're not encased in the mental torture completely. You can walk out at any time. You hold those keys. Just remember that. And the choice is ultimately yours. Don't be afraid that you have to make a big choice. That's one of those defining moments in life. And a lot of us right now with this, like, again, eclipse season energy and these big paradigm shifts of Pluto into Aquarius. And it's just a lot of calling for all of us individually and then collectively to make big decisions and changes. And those can be scary. Absolutely. But we don't get to the good places by staying locked in our head about it and feeling the anxiety and the worry and the unknown. And that blocks us from figuring out a plan and then knowing which choice to make, right, Scorpio family? And this is very much about your happy ending. Y'all are trying to, like, get to your 10 of Cups, your emotional fulfillment, where you're like, I'm good. I got everything I want. And then some. What do I do now? What's my next thing? Fulfillment. You're looking for that at the base. That's always kind of what's driving a lot of my Scorpio. Isn't it? So, I mean, a lot of us. This is what drives most of us. Right? Totally. So that's at the base for my Scorpios this month of October, right? You're very much this choice. You're like, I'm getting tongue-tied. Let me back it up. This choice that Scorpios need to make this month very much impact your long-term, like, goals for happiness, your happy ending, what you want to accomplish, right? That fills your emotional cup. And so, right, we're in our heads a little bit too much about it of late. In the past, you have this Page of Pentacles energy. So again, a focus on your hustles. What are you trying to create? What are you trying to bring to life in the 3D world? Manifest. So you have been very much focused on whatever projects, whatever jobs, positions you hold that concern your resources. That's where the focus is for you, completely 100%. And you're kind of like excited about it. You've been excited about where you're at in this process. But again, so don't block yourself by getting too locked up in your head, because you've been riding like the good wave recently, and we can block ourselves by the worry, the fear, the unknown. There's always going to be unknowns. There's so many unknowns that we don't account for during the day. If we really counted them all up, which would be infinite, I mean, goodness, could you imagine the worry? We would never get out of the worry and live anything else. So yeah, coming in from the past for my Scorpios, it could definitely be an emphasis on, like, what am I creating? What am I bringing to life that's going to lead me to this happy ending, this emotional fulfillment, really deep emotional fulfillment. This could also pertain to a young masculine figure. This Page of Pentacles, earth sign energy, affecting the situations having to do with my Scorpio's resources of the past, in the past, perhaps recently too, recent past. And crowning my Scorpio's energy this month of October is 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, like your hustle. You're all about your legacy. What are you leaving? What mark are you leaving on the world? What are you leaving for your fam? Yeah. This is all about you finding that. Like, that's at the crown and that's at the base. Look at that. 10 and 10. You're like trying to get to that next level of emotional stability, security, just where you're good. You're good. It's a great place to strive for. Go for it, Scorps. How's it going? Give me a progress report in the comments. Coming up in the future for October. So this will be like mid-late October. Again, remember we have that full moon, those spicy days around the 9th to the 11th where a lot of stuff's going to be happening. And also we'll still have a little bit of that reverberation from the eclipse energies as we end eclipse season on the 2nd, right? With that final solar eclipse. Just grab a little swig. So coming up in mid to late October for my Scorpios, you are going to be able to see the fruits of your labor. If you're not already, you're going to be able to. You're going to start seeing those, like your garden's in, the harvest is in. You can really just be in the abundance that you have built, which is on your way to this, right? Wow. Y'all are going solid on the work front, the project front, the resources front, money front. And yet here you are here and now. You're still worried about lack. 4 of Pentacles in the here and now for my Scorpio family. So y'all might be holding on to some of your money. And again, that might be why you're holding on. Doesn't always mean like we broke, right? Holding on may be why you can actually enjoy this. You're appreciating all the abundance that you've grown and what you already got. You're not trying to go out and spend more. You're like, no, I got everything I need. And I know that in order to get here, right, at the foot, at the base, and at the crown of my energy this month, Scorpio speaking, I need to focus on what I already have instead of this lacking of like, I want more, right? So yeah, in the here and now, that 4 of Pentacles, some of y'all might be holding on to money. Some of y'all, again, might be seeing some things start to bear fruit, but it's not yet at that place where, again, like I keep holding them up at the 10 and the 10, right? The cups and the pentacles, like that, where it's really stabilizing you, where it's really pulling in money for you. So you might still, again, be maybe like at a beginning stage of earning, you know, but you're starting to see it come in and you're like, all right, I can appreciate that. Other people see you as, again, they see you with this choice. Maybe you've been talking to others about whatever that Lover's card at the beginning, that choice that you have to make. So there's this caution to Scorpio about illusion and delusion. Other people see you. This is how other people see you this month. They might be seeing you making the wrong choice. Ultimately, it's not their say. It's your say. But it can always be good to get input from our closest trusted people, the ones that there's a judgment-free zone with, right? But be mindful of the choice. Again, I think this goes back to what, like your first 2 cards, the Lovers and that 8 of Swords. Like, you're kind of caught up in your own mind because you're aware and, well, scared that if you pick the wrong path, right? There's so many paths, so many cups to pick, that you're like, I know one of them is going to lead me to that 10 on 10 energy, the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles. I know one of them is going to lead me there, but I don't want to make the mistake and pick the wrong one. So it's good that you're biding your time. Don't dilly-dally too long and miss opportunity, though. Trust yourself to really know and seize upon it, but, you know, don't delude yourself neither. Go based on the facts. Go based on the facts. Your hope and your fear is obviously victory. 6 of Wands. You want to be victorious in all of these pursuits that you're rocking with this month, Scorpio. Absolutely. Yeah, your energy is like, there's nothing else but victory in my mind of reaching that end game, right? That I keep holding up. And people see you. This is about other people, like seeing your victory, appreciating it, supporting you in your ride. And this means that you've used your energy well. So your hopes and your fears, again, goes back to that choice. And I'm happy to see that this is in your hopes and fears, because it means a lot of my Scorpios are willing to bet on themselves and lean into their own success, like that they're going to do well, right? That you have it within you to get here. I'm glad that in our, in our hopes and fears, we don't have this popping up. Sure, that's the energy surrounding my Scorpios at the moment, but that's not in, it's better there than in the hopes and fears, because ultimately you're just like, nah, this is where I'm going. And that's important, that mindset. Very, it's, the mind is just as strong. It's what ultimately helps create all this that we manifest in the world around us, right? So final messages for my Scorpio family for October is the Death card. Oh my God, there you are, Scorpio. This is the Scorpio card about just you're shedding an old, and it's painful and it's hard and it's dark, can be lonely, but from that there is rebirth. Look at that sunrise, right? So there is rebirth, transformation, which is the ultimate Scorpio symbol of death and rebirth. So you are very much, okay. One of these choices is going to lead you back along the circle and cycle that you've been circling and cycling through for a while now, some of my Scorpios. And one of those choices is the harder looking choice, the one that you grit about, that's going to lead you down this path that you need to go down. You need to shed and release ultimately this month. This is an opportunity to let go of the old binding things that have held you back and choose instead things that are going to bring you emotional fulfillment and ensure your legacy. Absolutely. So while death can seem like a scary card, it's like this is a period for all of us right now, collectively, like on our own individual levels in our lives, but then collectively in mass on like these larger levels of shifting, like death and rebirth, right? And at the bottom of the deck for you, Scorpio, is, again, just to remember that death and rebirth is all about rebalancing the star. It's about rebalancing and nourishing yourself when your stores are down, and it's about filling your stores with new and more nutritious energy that's going to propel you into that next level that you are so wanting, because this is the season to do it. If you're going to make it happen, you've already been working towards it, hopefully, because that set the intention before eclipse season. But now we're in eclipse season. And even if you're catching this after, we're going to be feeling that for a lot of October. And there's a lot of other planetary aspects that are also just like big shifts, like you can't get away from it. So if there's discomfort, here's what came up on the split of the deck. That was the bottom of the star, the moon. If there's discomfort, whatever is coming up for you this month, as you decide which direction to go for yourself, meet that uncomfortability with curiosity. Because we meet it with fear a lot of the time. That's what this card is about. There's going to be something that spooks, that again makes us want to choose the old safe choice that puts us right back on the circle where we haven't learned the lesson. Learning the lesson means doing the hard work. And so it's interesting that the split came out. Not often does the split come out for y'all. So I don't know, but it did for you. It very much, it was like, no, I'm here. I need to make myself shown, the moon. So for my Scorpio fam, yeah, like lean into the unknown and ask it what you can learn from it, because that's the purpose of the discomfort. It comes up for us to make us aware that, hey, I'm here, I need to be acknowledged, and I need you to learn something from this so that you can release me to a degree, and so I won't be as impactful and heavy on you anymore. Because again, it's all about that shedding so you can lighten your load and allow space for completely new energy. So fill your stores. So bet on yourself this month, Scorpio family. I mean, I would bet on yourself. But it's not without its hard work. It's not without its scary choices. It's not without its unknown and its fear. So again, that's where it comes to just trusting yourself. And if you need to lean into your community, do so. But make sure that it's the ones that you really trust, that have proven themselves, and vice versa, right? Like that's just your BFFs, your covens, so to speak. Scorpio fam, I definitely hope that this is a meaningful October for you. I'm not sure how else to say it, because I know it's going to, changes are always bumpy. The only constant in life is change, y'all. But I would love to hear what kind of changes and shifts are happening in your lives. If you're willing to share in the comments, definitely throw them at me. If you haven't subscribed already, if you've made it this far through the video, y'all, it helps the channel so much. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and thank you so much, because it really does help support my work and gets this small channel growing even more and more, and with that it gains visibility more and more, and I am so grateful. But my Scorpio family, have a very blessed and meaningful, and I guess the sirens re-emphasize that. I always wonder when they roll by at certain moments. I'm like, is that a sign? But have a very blessed and meaningful October. Learn from whatever's coming up for you, and know that you got this. But we all are in store for big shifts. All right. So it's do the balancing. Do the balancing that you need. Okay. Take care of yourself first and foremost. Make sure you're good. Refill your stores. And lean into spirit, because spirit's there to help you, your guides, your ancestors, your angels, all of them, whomever you lean on. All right. Scorpio family, if this message resonated with you, definitely come back maybe mid-month and end of the month and check it out and see how it hit even more. Now the month's almost halfway or all the way over, right? And then let me know in the comments, how'd I do? I'm definitely love hearing the feedback. Thank you, Scorpios, and sending y'all much love for the month of October. Bye, y'all.